Hey, long form video. Let me clean this lens. Hell no, I'm not gonna start it over. These are usually 6 or 7 minutes. I'm gonna do another mom one. I did mom 1, 2, 3, and 4. We talked about Mrs. Sneed's boarding house. I remember that. We talked about the ice skating incident when my mother took me out onto the lake with the signs that said "Don't go out on the lake, thin ice, danger." Uh, we talked about the expulsion with the gun at school and how I was always white boy in the city of DC. What I Let me see. I don't even remember what else there. Okay, Mrs. Sneeze, we talked about the Holiday Motel, where she left me for a week or so, I think. And if it wasn't for old biology and hunger, I probably wouldn't have gotten out of there. But still left with her. But today, we're going to talk about Mr. Crossbow. These are just things I randomly remember about my childhood and being homeless with my mother for 10 years. Mr. Crossbow. I remember that my mother and I had been walking for a very, very long time. I think if you're anybody who's actually looked at all these, which I think is probably rare, you'll notice that walking was a big part of my existence with my mother. She would pick me up, from my father's visitation, often acting like we had a car or getting a ride there, but then that person would drop us off around the corner, and she would need to get back to Tacoma Park. Anyone who knows DC, so we're sitting there in the middle of Rockville, like near White Flint, and she's got to get to Tacoma Park. So we walked. We would walk all day long. It didn't bother her because she was on Black Beauties. She was on speed all the time. So she would just walk like crazy. She was getting exercise. All I remember all the time was, "Keep up, Seth. Come on, Seth. Keep up, keep up, keep up, keep up, keep up." And my little ass legs, I'm like, her fast walk was my run. So basically, I was running for hours. And I guess it just never occurred to her. Food didn't occur to her, so it didn't occur to her to give it to me. Rest didn't occur to her because she was on speed. So it it didn't occur that I would need it. She just dragged me everywhere. Anyway, I remember we had been walking all day and all night. We had been walking for maybe 9 or 10 hours just down Rockville Pike. We finally got to some person's house. I don't know who it was. And the story won't last long. But like I almost didn't. But my mother, she walked in there and she said, "Hey, everybody, do you mind?" And this was one of the few times in the history of existence, my existence, that I can actually remember my mother saying, "We need to sit down and rest." It was maybe 2 or 3 in the morning. And my mother had knocked on the door and said, "Look, I got a kid. Can we rest?" She used me a lot for that. I guess she was at that point completely homeless, and my dad thought she was still at Mrs. Sneed's, but she wasn't. So she was just knocking at people's doors with me. Okay, but that's not the scary part. Here's the scary part. I'm exhausted. I'm so exhausted. I'm like, when I sit down for more than 2 seconds, I just start falling asleep. My mom keeps picking me up, and she's like, "Find a place to sleep." Fine. I had to go to the bathroom, right? So I said, "Where's the bathroom?" They said, "Right there." They pointed to a door. I mistook what they said. I thought it was this door. They said that door. I thought it was this door. I go over. I open the door. I put my hand on the door. I open the door. I remember this like it was yesterday. My hand on the door. I open the door. I hear people scream, "No!" An arrow flies over my head out the door and sticks into the wall over the couch from a crossbow. Flies over my head. I mean, I'm like 7, so I'm little. The guy in there, I remember the guy, bleach blonde hair, in bed with this brunette girl. I guess everyone in the house knew not to open that door. He was wanted by the police or something, so he had his crossbow rigged up so that if anybody opened that door, they were gone. But he had it set up for an adult. had I been an adult, it would have hit me, But instead, it just flew right over my head and stuck in the thing out in the living room. And I think my mom wound up just closing the door. Homeboy reloaded his crossbow, and I found a place to sleep somewhere. But I was like a growth spurt away from not being here. And with my mother, I can't believe I am here. Really.